What's going on, guys? All right, so last night was Monday Night Football. Concluded another week in the NFL. So I wanted to give you my top 10 NFL teams after the weekend. So we're going to kick it off at 10 is the Titans. I think they've been humbled the last couple of weeks, but they have played incredibly good teams. Tannehill, I don't think, gets them where they need to go or want to go, but Derrick Henry is still a madman running the football, and their defense does let them stay in the games, except for a guy named Jalen Hurts. Jalen had an incredible game against the Titans, so I do have them at 10 this week. At 9, I've got the Seahawks. Geno Smith has turned it on this season. I think there was a lot of doubting early on, even for me. I didn't think Geno Smith was the guy, but they're running the ball well. Geno is slinging that thing, and he's definitely looking for Metcalf down the stretch, and that is who they look for, or Geno looks for, when he really needs to move the ball. Lockett has also come on and has done an incredible job in the last 3 or 4 weeks, so I like Seattle at 9. At 8, I've got the Vikings. Their record is very strong. That's what I've got them up there for. But a little shaky play on the defense to me. I don't know if they hang around in the top 10 by the end of season, but as it stands right now, I've got Minnesota at 8. Number 7, I've got the 49ers. Their defense definitely took hold with Tua, but the hurt to Jimmy G and him going down, them kind of being a little not knowing at quarterback hurts them a lot. I know I said last week, with all the playmakers around, Jimmy G, that team was good, but he was still effective enough to get it in the hands of the playmakers. And now that Trey Lance is down and then Jimmy G went down, I don't know where they turn to. At 6, I've got the Bills. Josh Allen still does Josh Allen things. Stephon Diggs is still having a fantastic year. Their defense is doing well. But they are in tight games. They have lost some that I feel like they should have won. So just got them at 6. Didn't have a crazy game this past weekend, but, nothing to go down about either. At 5, the Dolphins looked incredibly pedestrian against the San Francisco defense over the weekend, so Tua did not look as easy. I know that first play for 75 yards that Tua threw opened it up pretty good, but after that, the yards were hard to come by. They played an elite defense, and I just had to bump them down for the way they looked on offense going in there. I still think that offense runs through Tua, but he looked incredibly uncomfortable, and I think a little bit of not rookie, but just being a younger quarterback in the league kind of showed with the defense in his face all day. At 4, I've got the Cowboys again. They were in a game with Indy for a half, and then the fourth quarter exploded, and that was crazy, but Indy has been a garbage team all year. I know that Jonathan Taylor's back. Matt Ryan wanted to win, but Indy's not a good team. Doesn't really seem like all that great of a win for the Cowboys, but throwing 50 on any team in the NFL is difficult, so I keep them at 4, so I have high hopes for them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. At 3 is the Chiefs, who lost to the Bengals, and it just seems like Mahomes cannot figure out a way to get past Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow tends to be the Chiefs' daddy over the past year. And it was a close game. It was a 3-point game. I understand that. But the Bengals took down the Chiefs. So I bumped the Chiefs down. They did that by definitely covering up Kelsey through most of the game. But again, it wasn't some crazy lopsided loss. It was a 3-point loss. So I'm not going to put them down any further than 3. They are still an incredibly dangerous team for anybody in the NFL. And I still like them going to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. But as it stands right now, I'll put them at 3, which leads me to number 2 is the Bengals, with that huge surge of taking out my top team over the past couple of weeks. I've got them up there. I've said it for weeks that defense, while it doesn't have any stars, that defense is incredibly good, and I think they showed that with affecting Mahomes, covering up Kelsey and being able to hold them to 24 points. And Joe Burrow is that guy. I'm going to put him in my top 5 NFL quarterbacks, maybe even top 3 if I were to really sit down and look at it. Joe Burrow has a moxie about him that guy just knows how to win, especially in closer games. If it's a blowout, he kind of doesn't do what he needs to do. But I've got the Bengals at 2. Joe Burrow definitely showed up in the game against the Chiefs again, and I think that's 3 in this calendar year, 3 games this calendar year that the Bengals have taken care of the Chiefs when a lot of the league can't figure out how to beat the Chiefs. So that's pretty good. And then at 1, I've got the Eagles. They have been a dominant team all year, and the storyline has kind of been, when is the other shoe going to drop for the Eagles? When is the other shoe going to drop for the Eagles? When will this Cinderella story end? And I don't know that it does. I think Jalen is doing an incredible job inside of their offense. I think their defense does a fantastic job. Miles Sanders and Gainwell run the ball really well. And then the outside with Devontae and A.J. Brown, you've got 2 elite receivers on the outside. They may be younger, but they're still elite. So the offense does well. The defense doesn't allow them to get into big deficits that they have to claw their way out of. I think they play incredible complementary football. And as it stands right now, they're the best team in the NFL. So at number 1, I've got the Eagles. Number 2, the Bengals. And number 3, the Chiefs. So we will go into Thursday Night Football with that outlook. And then we'll see you guys after the Week 14 games. All right, Fam Jam. Until next time, I'm out.